Yeah, Madam Chair, I think, going back to how we opened this meeting, this plan the town manager's put together is the culmination of 2 years' worth of work. This room tonight, the retirees are very well represented, but this board has to represent the interests of all Andover residents and all Andover retirees. And excuse me.
Please, excuse me.
And I think, as we've said, this plan that has been put forward is something that we can move on as a baseline for reforming OPEB, and it doesn't preclude any other options that are put before this board. The board, it's the same 5 people here that can vote on this tonight and then can consider any other options that are thought out, vetted, and put forward to amend. And we can make it a priority to take that up. But I think it would be a mistake to delay the vote yet again after all this energy and time has been put into this when, quite frankly, everyone understands this is a good first step and it can be amended. We can take into account if the PEC comes forward with a better vetted plan, we can certainly amend it. But to lose all this time and energy of a lot of people over 2 years, I think would be a waste of time. And nothing is precluded here. We can take this vote tonight. Town manager's plan is in place. The PEC plan, we can evaluate and then amend the plan. There is no reason that can't happen. This can be done in a 2-step process. But the continued delay, I think, is a mistake, and I think we owe it to all Andover residents to take action on this. I understand, we're hearing a kind of a disproportionate response in this audience tonight, but it's our job to think about all Andover residents. This issue of OPEB, as Mike Morris, the chair of the OPEB Advisory Committee, said, when we see that in the future that we can't hire police officers, can't hire teachers, the rising cost of OPEB, we cannot kick this can down the road any further. I think it's important that we vote on this tonight.
Let me say that in many ways, I absolutely agree with you. I think Andrew's plan is a superb plan. I really do. I think it has, not only is it a plan that is a great compromise from where we started originally with 49.9% contribution, or 50-50 as everybody says. I think we're way ahead of that. So I think it's a good plan. I think a plan phases in. It gives you a couple of years before you even hit 60% to explore many, many other possibilities and many other solutions. So I do love the idea. I love the plan. I think that it's structured well. Could it be better? Maybe it can. The emotion in the room, to me, is important, and I think that I'm going to recognize that, and I would like to hold off just for that reason. I will be. I believe, though, in my heart, that we should be moving forward and moving forward quickly. So what does that really mean for the future? It means that I will make sure that this item gets on agendas immediately going forward. So in one respect, I'm advocating, and we may not agree, but I'm advocating a slight delay. In another respect, I'm saying be prepared and put your seatbelts on, because we're going to do this quickly. Because I believe in my heart that this needs to be addressed, and needs to be addressed immediately.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we approve the town manager's plan. The motion's been drafted with the help of town council. It's actually 2 separate motions, so I'll move the first of the 2. I move, based on the town manager's OPEB presentation date April 20th, 2016, and pursuant to the authority vested in it by GL Chapter 32B 9E and City of Somerville versus Commonwealth Employment Relations Board 470 Mass 563, the year 2015, that the board vote to establish the premium contribution rate for all non-Medicare Part A eligible retirees under the age of 65 who are covered by the group health insurance plans offered by the town in accordance with the following schedule. Fiscal year 2017, July 1, 2016 to June 30th, 2017, 35%. Fiscal year 18, July 1, 2017 to June 30th, 2018, 40%. Fiscal year 2019, July 1, 2018 to June 30th, 2019, 45%. Fiscal year 2020, July 1, 2019 to June 30th, 2020, 49.99%.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further comment before I call the vote?
My comment is, kind of echoes what Sheila Doherty said, is assuming the proposal from the PAC was legitimate and honest, and I believe it is, that I don't think we've seen this degree of, or desire to cooperate. And personally, I don't see a problem with waiting 2 weeks so that we can have that discussion with the PAC and hold off on this vote for 2 weeks. So I'll be voting against this motion.
I think the downside is little. I don't think there's a real downside. I think there's an upside to waiting. But again, moving it very quickly.
Well, you said 2 weeks, Dan. What do you expect, what is that, how do you say 2 weeks when this has been going on for,
Want to repeat your
Speaking to your
just want to
mic,
repeat your
please.
question. People couldn't hear you, Alex.
Yeah, just, you mentioned 2 weeks. Is that a number that you just came up with, or do you expect, how do you expect that to go?
No, this isn't something that's going to get,
I mean, it's taken us 2 years to get to this point. The OPEB committee took
Yeah.
8+ months. You're talking 2 weeks, so I just.
No,
curious where you get that.
I'd like to sit with the PAC representation and hash out a deal that could work for, it could be a win-win situation for both parties, but I'd like to have it done within 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not proposing a prolonged discussion that's going to last months. I think it needs to happen in short order, and that's what my proposal would be.
And if I could, the approval of this town manager's plan tonight doesn't preclude that. In fact, what it does is it provides a safeguard that if for some reason those discussions don't go as they
If you wish to speak, you come to the podium. Thank you.
approving the plan tonight is actually a safeguard. It provides the motive and incentive and timeline to say, let's get going, and let's have this conversation with the PEC. So approving doesn't hurt anything. We can still approve. And if in a week or two, the discussions with the PEC go sideways or it doesn't quite work out as we think, because we haven't seen it all kind of laid out and quantified, that at least we have the town manager's plan that has been approved and is in place. That becomes the new default. We can't have the default be no action. After all this work, we can't have the default be no plan, no action. So we'll be all highly motivated, won't we, in the next week or two, to talk to the PEC, listen to what they have to say, and see if it moves the needle forward.
Yeah. It's a matter of respect to me. It's a matter of respect to give the retirees the opportunity to have that open and honest dialogue, and to not do something with the proverbial gun against their head.
And I think having a vote in place actually de-incentivizes, is that a word? De-incentivizes forward, movement forward. It does exactly the opposite. So again, I'm not believing, I think this plan is terrific. I just want to.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second. Thank you. Yeah.
If there was further comment,
Of course.
we don't just call a vote. If there's further comment, we should have it.
So we have a
Again,
motion on the
respect.
table, and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Opposed.
Passes 3-2.
Madam Chair,
May I just
Madam Chair, the second
May I
Madam
just
Chair, the second motion.
May I just request that the meeting minutes, Dee, please ensure the meeting minutes reflect Selectmen's Landry, Vespoli, and O'Donoghue voting in the affirmative, as that was not a roll call.
We can have a roll call. that's
We can
fine.
have a roll call,
Sure.
sure.
Yeah, roll call vote.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
No?
No.
thank you.
okay. Madam Chair, there's a Madam Chair, there's a second motion related to the approval of the town manager's plan. I move that based on the town manager's OPEB presentation dated April 20th, 2016, and pursuant to the authority vested in it by General Law 32B 9E and City of Somerville versus Commonwealth Employment Relations Board, 470 Mass. 563, 2015, that the board vote to establish the premium contribution rate at 35% for all Medicare Part A eligible retirees covered by the group health insurance plan offered by the town pursuant to General Ledger 32B 18A, such rate to be effective commencing July 1, 2016, and to remain in effect until and unless changed.
Just one statement, it's general law, GL.
Okay, I corrected, general law instead of GL.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Comments from the board? We have a motion and a second. Further comments from the board before I call the vote? Roll call vote. Selectman Landry?
Yes.
Vespoli?
Yes.
Yes. Dan?
No.
Paul?
No.
Passes 3-2.
Madam Chair?